So today I'm going to give myself a quick challenge to model 3 different things in Unbound. We're going to do 5 minutes for the first item, a coin block, 10 minutes for the second item, a Goomba, and 15 minutes for another item, which we'll get to at the end. I am not much of a 3D artist, but that's one of the reasons we're making Unbound. It's a bit more accessible than Blender, and for a lot of folks, it's more than enough. So let's get this timer going and see what we can do in 5 minutes. We're going to start by bringing in a cube, which is handy. Let's see, let's start by going into the model and let's give it more of a yellow-orange, consistent with the cube. That looks good to me. And we're going to want to bevel these edges a little bit. So we're going to switch over to chamfer mode and, oops, no. See, I told you I'm not much of an artist, but part of this is just sort of playing around, getting a lay of the land. Everything can be undone. That's good enough. Maybe not exactly the chamfer I was looking for, but that's fine. We only got 5 minutes here and we're down to just a few of them. Let's start by now getting some of these screw holes taken care of. So I'm going to pull in a sphere. I'm going to control click rotate. Oh. Let's scale this way down. Let's see. I'm going to give this a slightly darker color. Just to emphasize the shadow a little bit when we go into subtraction mode. Let's move this along the plane it's already in. Let's see, looking at our reference, that's maybe a little bit too big. So let's pull that down a little more. I think I'm going to darken it just a little more even. Yeah, there we go. Now let's mirror and duplicate. Now we've got our 4 corners. Lovely. Now, what is the fastest way to make this question mark? We've got 3 minutes. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Let's start with another cube. Make it white. And by the way, the goal of Unbound is not necessarily speed. That's just the challenge that I'm giving myself right now. Oops. Although for certain applications, you will probably find it faster. So I'm going to do this, I think, sort of the quick and dirty way, because this is our 5-minute model. So I'm going to stretch this all the way out. About there. We're just going to rough out, duplicate. And I'm just going to sort of rough out this question mark. I'm going to turn the blend. No. Let's just get these aligned. I want to keep everything on that plane. Let's duplicate this one again. Bring it down. I'm going to duplicate this one. We've got a minute and a half. I better speed up. Duplicate. Bring this over. All right. Now I'm going to use this. I forget what this scale mode is called, but I'm holding T to scale in one direction. I guess I duplicated that twice. There we go. All right, I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate this, bring it over. This is not looking good, but again, 5 minutes here. All right, so let's go in with some subtractive edits. Uh-oh. I only have a few seconds. Oops. Where is that? I need this at the bottom. I've lost it. What have I done? white edits can be a problem. Well, in the interest of making my time, I'm going to cheat a little bit. We're going to duplicate. We're going to bring this down. And there's our question block. And I'm going to save this. Let's go into our library and we'll call this Q block and save. Save new. Now let's make a new scene. Now we're still in the same project. And I'm going to call this one Goomba. Save new. And I'm actually just going to delete this. I'll show you if I go out here. Now I've got my question block. I've got my Goomba as second. So here's our Goomba. I'm going to slip over to our next reference. I'll be honest with you. I don't have high hopes for what I'm going to be able to do in 10 minutes here, but here we go. By the way, do you like my Yoshi hat? I thought it would bring in the spirit of the challenge. So let's start with a cube again. And actually, I think we're going to start with, let's start with a sphere. Can actually, oh goodness gracious. I can actually right click on a model, turn it into a sphere, and then, or right click on a primitive rather to change primitives. So let's make a couple of these. Let's turn the blend. Let's turn the blend way up. Blend on this one up. I'm gonna make another one. Sort of bring that over. Scale the middle one up a little bit. Center it a little better. Might have to blend up too high, but that's all right. We're just trying to get the rough shape. There we go. Starting to look a little Goombish. So maybe if I bring the blend down. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a 10-minute sculpt. Oh my goodness, what have I done? There we go. All right, I'm gonna select all of these. I probably should have done this at the beginning. Let's get kind of a brown color. Great. Let's grab our middle edit, duplicate it, bring it down. I'm gonna turn the blend down on this one because I'd like it to be a little bit sharper transition to the neck, which we do want to be more of this skinish tone. I might actually move, I think I'm going to move that bottom part into a different model altogether. So we're going to click out and I'm just going to paste that because I want this hard edge. Let's try a cone with this one. It's not rotated the way I want it. Let's rotate it. There we go. I think we want to round this quite a bit more. There we go. It looks kind of like his body, right? Its body. Bring this down a little. All right. Let's go back in here. I'm actually going to grab one of those edits for the foot. Let's see. I kind of want this to be squished so that it looks more like a foot. And let's kind of give it. I'm gonna actually duplicate this. Oops. Duplicate. Bring the blend down. There we go. Now it's looking more like a foot. Then we're going to add, bring another one there. We're going to make this one a paint model. We got about 6 minutes left. I'm going to pick, let's use the color picker and grab that. Hey, that didn't work. Color, oh right, because it's in a different model. All right, we'll just do this. We'll do this our own way. Ow, for fuck's sake. I want to unlink these. That's what I'm forgetting. This is what you get when you get the non-artist showing you how to art. That's all right. If I can do it, you can do it. Yellow, I think I duplicated both of these and I just want to pull this off first. That's the problem. Make this a paint edit. I'm not sure why that's not painting. That's interesting. Am I in the wrong model? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I am in the wrong model. Well, that'll do it, folks. That ate a whole bunch of time. There we go. That works. Make this a paint model just to kind of get that. I'm sorry, you guys. I wasted a lot of time on that. I'm going to turn the blend down to make that sharper. Give them that sort of bottom of the foot look. All right. I'm going to zoom back out. Let's turn on my hierarchy. Probably should be naming these, but we don't have a lot of time. So that's going to be 1 foot. I don't know what this is. That was a mistake. Here's 1 foot. Let's duplicate this whole model. We're gonna, oops, rotate this around. Rotate this around. I'm all over the place here. Bring this down and back. And that looks pretty good. Good enough. All right, what did I say? 10 minutes? So we've got 4 minutes left to basically do its face. If we have time left, we will if we have time left, we'll do some more detail. But right now, let's just get some eyeballs in here. We're gonna use painting tools again. We can clean up this paint, I think, by zooming out and turning up our resolution. There we go. So let's see, we've got an eyeball. It's got, let's see if, am I smart enough to do a black outline? Probably not. Let's see what happens. This behind it. Oh, look at that, we did it. All right, so let's make that outline a little bigger. And we're going to duplicate the center again. We're going to make that black. Should probably do that now so we can actually see the eye. And then we're going to duplicate one more time, make it white for the little shine. All right, I'm gonna grab all of these. We're gonna mirror. Uh-oh. I made the mistake of not centering this thing. Let's see if we can fix this real quick. I bet if I turn these mirror on, and then select everything, sort of reposition it. There we go. Now we can just bring the whole model back over. Good enough. All right, 2 minutes. Let's get some teeth and a mouth in there, and then we'll call it done. Let's go. That looks very tooth-like. There we go. It's pretty toothish. Whoop. Whoop. We're going to rotate it. We're going to reposition it. We're going to scale it down. Scale it just in this direction to make it a little pointier. 1.5 minutes. All right, let's mirror. Boom. All right, last bit. Oh, those are outlined in black, but we're probably not going to get to that. So let's pull. I call this the eyebrow. I don't know what it's actually called, to be honest with you, but I think of it as the eyebrow. We're going to make this paint. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we're going to position it. I think I'd like it a little flexier. We're going to push this back in a little bit so it's not affecting your teeth as much. Oops, giving him a fatter head. It's not what I wanted to do. We want the eyebrow. There we go. Yeah. So maybe it could be a little skinnier here. Maybe bring this leg back. Might have been too far. All right, there we go. We did it. 10-minute Goomba. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. You know, if I were to make some changes, I'd probably puff his cheeks out a little more. Give him more of that sort of mushroom shape. There we go. I could probably turn the blend down on some of these to emphasize that little... Anyway, there's our Goomba. Not too bad. Let's save this. And let's create another new scene. And we're going to call this one... Ready for this? Ready to watch me fail? And probably spell this wrong. Piranha plant. Save as new. Let's delete this again. And let's bring up our reference image. Well, the pot's going to be easy. And if I was better with the spline tool, this part would be easy, but let's just see what happens. All right, so let's go. Let's start the timer again. We're going to give ourselves 15 minutes this time. And I will start with the pot just to make myself feel good. So let's turn this into sort of a little cylinder there. Make it brown. Good enough. Let's duplicate this. Oops, bring it up. Oops, hang on. I need to be in the model because I want this to be the same object. Let's scale it up a little and keep scaling this down. Get the pot in there. Now, if I was going to spend a lot more time on this, I would worry about the taper. Actually, I guess let's turn this into a cone. See if we can, it doesn't look like I really have control over that taper as much as I thought. Oh wait, here we go. There we go. We just need to rotate this. There we go. Maybe a little less coney. Scale it. Probably should be scaling it uniformly. There we go. Like I'm wasting a lot of time on this, but now let's just dig out of the center. So I'm going to duplicate this again, pull it up a little, scale this down a little. Let's make it a little darker. And then we're going to turn this into a subtraction edit. Now we have a pot, more or less. Let's scale it just a tad more. Perfect. Okay, we're going to leave that. Oh, you know what? Well, that's a detail. I was going to do this little cutout, but it's a detail we can save for later. I'm going to actually be a little more careful with this one. Let's call this pot. All right, next let's do, I guess, oh, let's do it. Let's just do the spline thing. What is this? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's a spline preset, I guess. So let's grab I'm gonna make mine a little more electric green. And then let's scale this down a touch. Let's sort of give it kind of a bendy shape. Still want to scale this down some more. Oh, we can do them individually, right? I was kind of hoping they would all scale together. I'm sure there's a way to do that, but Once again, not the team's artist. I think this will do for now. It's probably a little thick. Let me just leave the base a little thicker. It's the oldest part, right? So that's gonna be, there we go. That's probably a little better. We can come back and give it some panache later. For right now, nope. Move this whole thing. No. Oh, did not mean to put the, ow, son of a. Cut this out. I want the stem to be on its own, in its own model. So let's readjust that to be kind of in the center. We'll call this the stem. Let's create a new model that's going to be the head. We've got 11 and a half minutes. Bring this in. I would like it to be a sphere. I would also like it to be up here. Whoop. Whoop. All right. Let's start by making this red. Dustier red. Yeah, that'll work. Now the head is not exactly a sphere, but it's close. So I'm gonna turn the blend up a little bit. I'm gonna duplicate this and just kind of move this around. Make another one maybe. Just kind of move it around so that it's like almost a sphere, but not quite. Just give it a little bit of lumpiness. I bring the blend down a little bit on that one. There we go. I'm probably overthinking this already. So next, let's take a bite out of it. So I'm going to duplicate. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to do it with one of these. I don't know if this is going to work, but time is of the essence, so we're just going to try stuff. Let's bring this up and over. We're going to scale it in this direction. We're going to rotate it. We're going to bring it out a little. Sure. And boom. All right. It's a start. It's not great. Could be worse. It'll get better when I add the other stuff to it. Hopefully. Let's try another spline here. Let's go back into the head. Pull another spline. Let's make this one white. Let's try to do the lips with a spline. That is ginormous. Let's scale this whole thing down. And bring, like there was a mode to snap. I think I have my tooltips turned off. Hang on. There was like a face snapping. Is it this one? Rotation? Surface snap. There we go. Aha! Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. These are way too big. Bring these way down. Bring these way down, way down. You can add. I was grabbing the wrong one. There we go. Now I have one sort of extra. I want them to be a little thinner at the edges where they kind of come to a point. Let's bring this out a little bit, sort of clipping through there in a way I don't love. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. It should be kind of centered. All right. Make this a little smaller. All right, well, this one looks a little big too. Man, it is getting hot under these lights. Promise I'm not going to sing the song you're all thinking of right now. All right, let me duplicate this. I don't know if this is going to work. Is there a way to like Well, there probably is a way to move that whole thing, but this seems simple enough. Look at that. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's still a little chunky, but you know, it'll do. I'm just gonna scale these all down just a touch. Just feels a little too bulky to me. So I'm just gonna bring all these down just a tad. Whoop. All right, good enough. Now we need a tongue. What looks like a tongue? I guess this is fine. So let's, first of all, I think I want to keep that in here. So let's bring this into our model. Let's make it red. It's all right if it's a little slightly different color red. Bring this up. And now I think we want to, let's make this a bunch rounder. And I wonder, cone might work better. Nah, well, yeah. Oops. Do this. Round it a little more. That's not too bad. I mean, for the amount of time that we have, I think this is going to work just fine. So we will, let's bring this back. Yeah, let's scale this whole thing up a little bit. If we get more time, we'll come back and hit F to focus on this. If we get a little extra time, I'm going to come back and kind of make this a little wavier. We got to keep our time in mind here. So we got 5 minutes left. We're going to add some teeth. So let's make sure we're still in this model. Let's pull on this. Let's make it white. Let's make it nice and pointy. Let's do this and bring it over here. What have I done? Kind of want these to like angle in a little bit. If I had more time, I would probably do this a little differently, but I'm just gonna very quickly, very lazily, just duplicate these and sort of slide them around. I'd like to rotate that one a little more. Let's pull this guy up. Rotate it a little more. Not bad, not bad. Okay. We're getting close. So these are all our teeth. I wonder if can I duplicate them all? What happens if I do that and try to rotate the whole, oh boy, I'm gonna pay for that. All right. Once again, knowing my limits, we're gonna duplicate one. We're gonna slide it up. We're gonna rotate it around this axis and lose it somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm too far in. Whoop. Again, I am not really an artist. I do okay, I get by. But this is also without, despite the fact that I'm on the Unbound team, I don't do a lot of sculpting. So this is with very little practice. So if you wanted to get into this with even slightly more practice than I've had, imagine how far you could go with this and how quickly. Not that speed is our goal, we just like for this to feel a little less like an engineering tool All right. So we've got about 2 minutes left. We don't have leaves yet. I want to get some spots on here. So let's bring in a sphere, and we're going to turn on surface snapping again. We're going to make this a painting tool. We're going to duplicate, and what have I done? Oh. Let's just copy a bunch of these around. We can scale them a little bit if we want to get some variety in there. Again, don't worry about that resolution you're seeing. We just don't have time to fix that. I zoom out and again turn the resolution up. That's the best I can do for right now, but it's okay. We're just doing a quick model. Let's grab one more there, one more here. All right, we've got about 1 minute. So let's see if we can get some leaves on here real quick. I'm gonna make these a new thing. So let's do this. I think we're gonna go with a cone again. We're gonna flatten it out. We're gonna make it green, of course. We could pick that color if we want, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So let's get this in place. Whoop. Let's rotate this around, lift it up, rotate it. Let's mess with the rounding a little bit. Mess with its coniness. It's an official term. Got just a few seconds here. Oh, no. What have I done? There we go. There's one. Let's... Nope, that's not going to work. I'm on the wrong axis. Let's duplicate it. Slide it over. Rotate it into place. And time. Well, folks, it is not a masterpiece, but again, I will remind you, we did this in 15 minutes with very little practice. Not that we're throwing shade at Blender, but in a lot of cases, developers who want to make something quick and fun are defaulting to Blender. Again, a great tool, but making this in Blender in 15 minutes from the first time you've opened it, it's a different proposition. So if you've enjoyed this, you can go to unbound.io. We've got this is available right now for free. It's in early access. Everything you're seeing here is available to the public. And if you play with it and want to give us your feedback, please hop into our Discord, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to have built into it, and stay tuned for more stuff like this.